Hey, it's Neville here, and a question I often get asked is, what are other ways to find clients? So usually when people are asking this, they're asking, how can I find copywriting or freelance clients? Now, in another video, I told you my most effective short-term way to get clients is by posting on your own social media. So you can click that link in the description to see that method, which is my #1 tip. But this video is about other different ways beyond that. So the #1 thing I suggest for people is first, before you go searching for clients, you gotta keep track of all the things you come across. This is a big mistake I see freelancers make. They'll do a lot of research, participate in a bunch of groups, and then 5 days later when I ask them, oh, where did you post? Where did you contribute? What other leads have you found? They're like, I don't know, I have no idea. And the reason is they haven't made a copywriting command center. So I have a whole post on this and a free template you can use if you want. It's basically just a Google spreadsheet where you keep track of all the places that you're participating, looking, and different job opportunities or gig opportunities that come your way. So my #1 thing is to first get your command center in place. The next thing that I want to address is networking. A lot of people think that you go sign up for a bunch of marketing events and go like, hey, I'm a copywriter, I'm a freelancer, I'm a web developer. And while that can work, it also makes you kind of this like weird networking person that's just out to get some business. And that method usually is not that good. I've seen a lot of different methods to get freelance gigs. I've tried a lot myself. And that method is a very good long-term strategy, but you more want to make friends and be interested and form relationships with people. And that in the long run will return you freelancing gigs. But if you're going to go to some marketing event and be like, hey, I'm a copywriter, hire me. That method will make you, one, not a lot of money, and two, kind of a hated person. The other thing I think that it's an interesting strategy, and it's a more of a long-term strategy, is blogging about your results. Now, a lot of people will say, I want to become a copywriter, so I'm going to write about copywriting. But here's the problem. You're not really an authority on the subject. So if you're not an authority on a subject and you just start blogging on how to do it, generally those people don't make it too far. So instead, what I would consider doing is documenting your journey about it, or at least blogging about results you've got. So if you get a small gig or you try a small piece of copy somewhere and it works, talk about your results. And people will love seeing that. And over time, as you build up some results and testimonials and case studies, people will start to hire you more. So I think blogging about what projects you're doing is actually a pretty cool idea. The next way that a lot of people go about getting clients is they go through platforms such as Upwork and Fiverr. I'm conflicted on these because I think they are actually an interesting place to go look for gigs. On the other hand, it is its own deal. So if you go on Upwork, you now have to make your own profile. You have to take a bunch of tests to prove that you know what you're doing. There's a lot involved with it, but you ultimately can build a nice little following on one of these platforms. But I will say over time, it has gotten a bit harder. I'd say Fiverr is actually a really good place to start out because Fiverr, you can make specific gigs. So let's say that you like making emails. Well, you can do specific copywriting emails really quick. So you can put out a gig for Fiverr saying that I will write emails for your Amazon e-commerce store. So because you're able to be so specific, you can actually get those gigs reasonably quick. So I do like Fiverr if you want to try it. The thing with these platforms is there's little downside and there's a lot of upside. So maybe you do end up getting a bunch of gigs. Okay, cool. Mission accomplished. But if you don't, it's really not that much time you spent on them. So I would suggest, why not? Why not try expanding your audience and going on one of these platforms? The other way to get clients that I've seen, and this is more of a long-term strategy also, is participating in groups where people might buy. So if you're doing copywriting, I would say looking up some copywriting groups, joining a bunch of them, and participating in the conversations. Now, me personally, I don't like getting into too many conversation threads on social media because it often doesn't result in much. But if you're the type of person that just likes to contribute and learn, then I would highly suggest participating on these groups. Many times I've hired freelancers on groups just because they're there all the time participating and giving a lot of good value, answering people's questions. So I'm like, I've seen this person like 50 times. They seem to know what they're doing. I have trouble with my website in this way. I'll hire them for a while. So that is a long-term strategy. The other thing that I actually personally used to do a lot and still do is I participate in the comments on websites. On social media, there's often too many comments, right? But let's say you go to someone's WordPress blog. Sometimes there's like 0 comments on the site or on a post. Sometimes there's 2 comments. So if you write a comment, the author will usually see your comment. And oftentimes in the comment section, you're allowed to link your own website. So I can't tell you how I moderate comments every single day. Every few hours, I have to moderate comments on my site to take out spam ones and stuff. But whenever someone leaves a comment, I'll often click on their website. Almost every single time I click on their website just to see what it is. So they get exposure from me just by commenting on my website. Similarly, you can go on other people's websites and oftentimes you'll be the only comment. The other sly thing is whenever someone reads that post, your comment is there, so they kind of see you, so you never know where you get the extra exposure. So I'm a big fan of commenting on things, and especially places where comments aren't as common, like blog posts. So these are some quick strategies for getting freelance clients. Like I said, some of these strategies are very short term, like the social media post one, which is still my favorite. I would suggest you go check out that video right now. Just post a template on your own social media, and that's usually the fastest way to get clients for really anything I've ever seen. And then there's some of these more long-term. So people are like, well, should I do the short-term ones or the long-term ones? Well, the answer is both. If you really are going to make a career out of freelancing, you have to build your own business. So there are short-term strategies you follow, of course, to get some quick freelance gigs. And there's these longer-term ones. And the longer-term ones, such as creating relationships with people, participating in groups, the thing is, you don't exactly know what they will return right now, but in the future, someone will say, hey, Neville, I've seen you participate in this group and I've seen all your blog post case studies. We'd like you to come in and help with this big company. Those are the kind of things that you could possibly get in the long term by doing those long-term strategies. So I would suggest that if you want to do some of these strategies, my number one strategy is obviously the social media posts. That's the best. First, start a command center. You can start networking, which is a long-term strategy. You could blog about your results, which I think is fun because I like writing, I like blogging, so I think that's really cool. You can join different networks such as Upwork or Fiverr, so different platforms. You can participate in groups, so social media groups, forums, things like that. You can participate in the comments of blogs, so whenever someone posts something, you can write about it, talk about it, give your opinion. And those are the main other ways I see for getting clients for freelancing. So I hope that helped out. If you ever need any more help, our blog copywriting course has tons of articles on freelancers. We mainly help businesses rewrite their copy and stuff like that, but we also help a ton of freelancers. So inside of our members area, we go in and me and other professional copywriters and other members go in and review all your stuff. So let's say you're pitching someone, we can help you with that pitch. Let's say you already are a copywriter or you get your first gig and you're thinking of submitting it to the client and you need some extra eyes on it. Well, me and some other copywriters will go through and check it out and maybe punch it up, give you some suggestions. We also have office hours in there where every 2 weeks you get to talk to me live, one-on-one with the video with the group. And we go through each other's copy, questions, and everything. So if you want to join the group, do that. If not, I hope this video helped you and I'll talk to you later. This has been Neville Medhora. See you later.